Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Gamers Watch podcast. I'm joined by Shaun.
Hey.
And I'm joined by nobody else because it's just me and Shaun today.
Ghost Town podcast.
Just the two of us. Sort of reminiscent of the Curiosity podcast days, but hopefully not as awful.
The average old days.
Yeah, not the good old days, the terrible old days. Slight change to the format today, so you've probably noticed already. You haven't got 3 hours worth of podcast to listen to, so we've condensed the podcast down and we're now happy to announce that we are launching our weekly show now. So we're cutting down the content slightly, but we're hoping that by having it weekly, it means that we can talk about much more with you than having to sort of get to the end of a recording and think, oh shit, we forgot to talk about that. So some slight changes to the running of the show, but overall we hope it works, and if anything doesn't work, just tweet us. Oh no, wait, you can't. Or Facebook us and just let us know if things don't quite work, but we're hoping that it does. Before we do start, I just wanted to mention that this show is sort of not sponsored by, but sort of affiliated with quite a few other podcasts, and one of the people that we wanted to shout out was 20 Tim Minutes. You can find him on all podcast platforms as well as on Twitter and on Facebook. He's a really nice guy. He's does a 20-minute weekly podcast that launches every Tuesday, and it centres around men's mental health. So it's a really important topic, especially in these sort of difficult times. So just wanted to say hello to Tim, and we hope that you enjoy the rest of the show. Now, we've got a few things coming up. The first thing that we'll be talking about today will be Gamers News that me and Shaun will go through. So that's going to be sort of the first 10 or so minutes of the show. But we do have a few things related to Xbox that we need to cover. Of course, we're going to go through Game Pass All Play as well. That will be covering Desperados 3, and it'll be covering Senua's Sacrifice, and then we'll be choosing some new games for each other to play. We do have some news of our sponsor that we need to talk about as well. Barrymore's Pool Party people have been in contact with us, so we just need to talk about that as well. New segment, Shaun. What have we got in later on in the show regarding Sea of Thieves?
Tales from the Tavern.
So Tales from the Tavern, it's the brainchild of Shaun. We've recently got into Sea of Thieves, and we've both been having an absolute blast, and it says a lot about how fun this game is that in the week that it's been since we last recorded a podcast, we have wanted to dedicate an entire segment of our show just to talking about how great Sea of Thieves is. So we will be talking about that too. And just before the end of the show, Shaun has a story to share about how clowns somehow made him afraid of spiders. I'm not really sure.
Other way around.
Oh, spiders made you afraid of clowns?
Yeah.
That makes even less sense.
It'll make sense when you hear the story.
Fair enough. Well, you've got all of that to look forward to in this week's episode of Gamers Watch Podcast, a Game Pass podcast. First thing to go through is Gamers News. Shaun, do you want to kick this one off?
Yeah, I can do. So Xbox are going to focus on back-compat games being given higher frame rates, and apparently an announcement is due to be made soon on what games that's going to be, or the first lineup of games, I guess. I imagine it's going to be like sort of like they've done with backwards compatibility at first with the Xbox One, where they slowly roll out different ones.
Yeah, and like they've been doing with upgrading the games to be X and S sort of upgraded as well, so there'll be batches that they'll roll out.
But and then apparently Dragon Age Inquisition was rumoured to be one of the first ones on the list, but got pulled at the last minute for unknown reasons.
It's a bit strange considering that EA is part of Xbox Game Pass now. A little bit strange, but it'll be interesting to see which games come forward first, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it might just be that they couldn't get it working yet on Dragon Age for some strange reason.
But you know what Twitter's like. You say one thing and they ban you, so...
Yeah, you spam one little message.
Yeah, Spamgate 2021. The next thing that we need to cover is actually sort of related to a later segment. Sea of Thieves, 4 years after its launch is it now, Shaun?
3 or 4, was it 2017 3 or 4 years. It came out?
It's had its best month since launch, so it's had more concurrent players, it's had more purchases through the Pirate Emporium, and it's had more downloads than ever before. So massive shout out to Rare. They have stuck with that game. I had some initial concerns when this game first launched, and they've answered almost all of them, and it really is a good experience now. So if you've got Game Pass, definitely try this game out with a few friends.
It apparently released March 2018, which
it seems a lot older than that. It does, but 3 years have gone and it's had its best month, so it's definitely still kicking.
Yeah, 100%.
What have we got next, Shaun?
We've got Fall Guys. Ultimate Knockout is due to release on the Series S and X in the summer. Finally.
It makes me a little bit sort of confused as to why it's not releasing on the Xbox One, but it's a strange one. But
it's the new consoles.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I hope that it sort of brings a few extra players to the game. I always had fun with it when I played it over at your place, so let's give it a bash. Hopefully it launches on Game Pass. That would just be perfect.
I was going to say, the thing is, will it be Game Pass or not?
I really hope it is, because it was PS Now, wasn't it?
Yeah, launch.
It was when it launched.
PS Now.
Yeah, so
PS
fingers
Plus,
crossed it comes to Game Pass, but it's a game that, nevertheless we'll be checking that one out. And the last point, just to quickly go through, is ZeniMax, which are the parent company of Bethesda, have officially had their buyout approved within the EU courts. So Bethesda ZeniMax is now officially part of the Microsoft sort of universe, I guess it is, with an announcement apparently due within the next couple of days. May have already come out by the time this podcast airs. It will probably be all the games are now on the backwards library, hopefully.
And ZeniMax and Bethesda are being merged into Vault, the new company name.
So exciting times for Xbox at the moment. Exciting times. Now, that is really all the news we've got sort of Xbox-wise at the moment, but nonetheless, there's some huge news in there. Xbox exclusive Sea of Thieves with its best month ever. What was a PlayStation exclusive at one point, now coming over to Xbox. ZeniMax Vault being sort of approved, and obviously the higher frame rate games being pushed. So yeah, it's exciting times to be on the Xbox.
Really
Lot
of stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, 100%. I was actually looking forward to playing a game that you asked me to play, Shaun.
Were you actually looking forward to it?
I genuinely was. So shall we swiftly move on to Game Pass or Play, Shaun?
Yeah, I suppose we better.
Okay. So if you listened to the last episode, you probably would know that me and Shaun had some games to play. Now, one of my favourite games really of all time is Red Dead Redemption 2. So Shaun asked me to play Desperados 3, which is a Western game. It's a real-time strategy. I'd seen it advertised and I thought, you know what, that looks quite good. And in response to that, I got Shaun to play arguably one of my favourite games of all time. So, should we talk about Desperados first or talk about Senua first?
We can kick off with a bit of Desperados.
Yeah, Desperados is shit. Shaun, do you want to talk about Senua?
No, I want to talk about Desperados a bit because it's amazing.
No, it's not. It's a piece of shit. Okay, Shaun,
I was at work.
Shut up.
I was at work and I got my watch buzzed. I looked at it and I saw a message from you saying, just started playing Desperados ... And I was like, here we go.
Yeah.
New record.
So I played it for 23 minutes and didn't even get through the trailer because I hated it so much. I hated it from the second I started playing it. Now, admittedly, a lot of it was because of the camera controls that I found out later on that you can change. However, even when I did change the camera controls, I still hated the camera controls.
How? It's automatic.
No, it wasn't, because when you switch between the players, it wasn't automatic. I hated it, Shaun.
It is.
It sucked.
If you switch between characters, it moves the camera to them.
No, I hated the entire game. I hated every single thing about it. So I played the tutorial twice because I kept uninstalling this piece of shit game. Right, so I'd uninstalled it twice before I'd even beaten the tutorial because I hated it so much. It was slow to the point of being painful. It was just fucking awful. The combat was shit. There was too many buttons. There was too many things on the screen at any one time. I hated it. So I trudged my way through the tutorial, which apparently is only supposed to take about 5 minutes. It took me 25 minutes and 2 separate uninstall and reinstalls. So I'd install this piece of shit game 3 times before it even got to the first fucking level. Played 10 minutes of the first level, and your cowboy's superpower is throwing a bag on the floor. Wow, I can throw a bag on the floor. How great is that? It's not great, it's fucking shit. It's a stupid game, it's a piece of shit. The combat is crap, the mechanics are shit. The controls are terrible. The camera position's awful. It looks like a pile of crap. The characters are just fucking ridiculous. I couldn't care less about it, so I uninstalled it for a third time. And Shaun said, you have to play through the first level to have a critical opinion of it. So I trudged my way through the first level.
I didn't say just the first level. I meant the game.
It took me 93 minutes to finish the first level. 93 minutes. I died something like 50 times. It's a piece of shit. Any time that I shot my gun, all of the people around me were alerted. So it's a cowboy game where you can't shoot a gun.
Yeah, because if you shoot a gun, they're going to hear you.
You're throwing knives about, having to pick knives up, constantly having to look at where somebody's viewing cone is. Oh my god, it was so fucking bad. So I play for it all the way through, 93 minutes to do the first level. I think, great, I'll finish this level. I'll maybe try the second level if I can muster up the energy to do so. So what happens at the end of the level is it tells you alternate checkpoints that you could hit, doesn't it?
First level. There's like badges that you can do, like different objectives.
Objectives. One of those objectives on this mission that took me 93 minutes to finish was to finish it in less than 5 minutes. Yeah. Fuck that stupid fucking game. I hate it. The bit where you pick the dynamite up and all the people start running at you and you've got to run away with both of your characters, but one of them moves slower than the other, and oh my god, I hate it so much. It's the worst game that I've played on Game Pass, and it's a piece of shit, and I hate it, and whatever Shaun says, he is wrong. Never play this game, and whoever made this game, Me Productions, whatever they're called, go fuck yourself, I hate you, it's a piece of shit, nobody play this wank game. So that's what I thought of Desperados 3.
Cool. Now, someone who completed the game, it's one of the most well-refined strategy games in recent times.
Piece of shit.
I loved it. It was amazing.
Piece of shit.
Absolutely.
Also, your opinion's wrong. No, I'm sorry, Shaun. I don't care. Your opinion's wrong.
The characters move at different speeds. You had one crouched and one stood up, I'm guessing. And that was also probably why you got seen, because you just stood out in the open in front of everyone.
You're wrong. One of the characters can't even pick people up. So you kill someone.
They all can.
Trudging along. No, you like sort of shimmy backwards with him really awkwardly and drag him along the floor.
Yeah, you still pick him up though. The doc, the guy with the bag, which is a like medicine bomb. Not just a
medicine
bag.
Bomb? Doesn't exist. It's a bag. He throws a handbag on the floor and people walk over to it, unless they're wearing a poncho, because people with ponchos don't walk over to bags.
Yeah, they're smart.
Piece of shit.
They're smart because they've got ponchos.
Game. Wank. I hate it. It's terrible. Nobody play this game. It makes me angry thinking about it. Awful. It should burn. It should be off of Game Pass, and the people that made it should look at themselves in the mirror and they should feel really bad about wasting my bandwidth having to download that piece of shit 4 times.
No, it was a great game. Really good. The controls as well are really well crafted for a console.
No, they're not.
There's literally, 3-4 buttons you actually use during the gameplay.
Oh, I'll tell you what my favourite thing, being a cowboy, is, right? Is flicking coins. Oh, I love a good coin flick.
Yeah, it's called a distraction.
Fucking shit game.
And then another thing I actually liked, which I didn't know it done before playing it, was the review at the end of the level where it shows like your path. So like it records.
Oh yeah, that was really fun for me, Shaun. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I got to see myself die 50 times.
You got to see all 90 minutes of it in like 2 minutes.
Piece of shit.
Nice and condensed down.
If you like real-time strategies, play Advance Wars. It's a game that came out 20 years ago that's 20 times better than this piece of shit. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
It's a
great
great game.
Talking about it, Shaun.
Don't fucking play it anymore then. You don't have to.
I've not.
It's a great game.
I was wanting to throw my controller to the fucking moon. I was so angry at this game. I hate it.
And the badges as well were really good for replayability. There was one level where it was towards the end where I had to knock someone out.
I'm just going to take my headphones out. So you just talk and I'll just take my headphones out. I can't listen to this piece of shit game.
Cool, yeah, go ahead. One of the levels towards the end of the game where you have to knock someone out in a party, so there's a huge crowd, and the main way of doing it is there's 2 distractions that you have to set off, and then once you finish the level, one of the badges, you find out you can do it without using any of the distractions at all. No idea how. I've tried replaying it, and every time I get caught without distractions, but the badges are really good for replayability, and considering each level does take like 45 to 60 minutes on average.
93 minutes, Shaun.
45 to 60 minutes for someone who can play a game on average.
And then it tells you to finish the level in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Nah, sorry,
it's
mate.
Speed
not
run.
having it.
It's a speed run.
Piece of shit.
Yeah,
It's the worst game that I've played on Game Pass.
it's the best game I played on Game Pass.
No, so it's going on the wall, and because it's my Game Pass or Play game,
Nah, fuck that.
it's the worst game.
Spiritfarer got overwritten, so this is getting overwritten.
No, I'm sorry, it's the worst game.
And then we'll ditch
We're putting it. All right, then we're putting it in the middle of the middle category.
Nah, top or nothing.
No.
Nothing.
Doesn't go on the
top
wall.
or no wall at all. We're scrapping the wall.
No wall. Doesn't go on the wall. Nope. We'll leave. No, it will be a compromise of both of us. It will go slap
fuck
bang
that.
in the middle.
Spiritfarer never got compromised, nor did Carrion. Both games that I played for Game Pass or Play, they both got put wherever I didn't want them.
This is me leaving the podcast if this goes in the top level. And yeah.
I'll send you the image tomorrow.
Fuck you. Can we talk about Senua? Because I love Senua.
I guess so. It's alright, isn't it?
Shut the fuck up. Senua is one of the greatest narratives ever told in a game, with some of the most satisfying combat and the absolute best use of dialogue and soundtrack possibly in a game I've ever played. Shut your dirty whore mouth.
No, it's definitely one of the most unique game experiences I've ever had, I must say. And I was really...
Now, obviously, we're both big babies, so to have gone from the medium that did bring up a few difficult themes of abuse, especially child abuse, which I wasn't expecting, and sort of mental and physical abuse. It was a game that I really wanted you to play ages ago, but I thought it would be a nice transition from the medium, knowing how much you enjoyed that, to go into Senua, because it covers very similar themes of isolation and loneliness, but obviously with the added sort of element of psychosis being involved. Now, I'll make no bones about it. I'm somebody who has struggled with mental health issues pretty much all my life, and there are parts of that game that are very difficult to play. But nonetheless, it's a beautiful looking game, and the story it tells, fucking phenomenal. But I'll let you go, because obviously you played it.
Well, so did you as well, but it's... Yeah, I was hesitant to use headphones at first, just because I haven't played the game, and I know why you'd need to wear headphones. So I was sort of...
So for those of you who aren't aware, Senua's Sacrifice is a game that comes with a warning beforehand that anyone sort of with pre-existing mental health conditions possibly shouldn't play this game for prolonged periods of time. And part of the game is you wear headphones, and voices in the character's head talk to you throughout the game. It can be distracting, it can give you help, it can give you clues, but it's very, very unsettling. So playing Senua without headphones is a very different experience to playing Senua with headphones. Similar to the medium, they recommend you wear headphones too.
But the voice was unsettling, but I don't know, I kind of got used to them towards the end. Like, there's some moments where the voices just go for a little while, and I was sort of playing it like, oh, I want my voices back.
And that's the thing, it's such a brilliant use of that mechanic, because that's what real life psychosis patients say that they feel, is when they get diagnosed and treated and those voices disappear, they miss the voices in their head. So it's like a perfect analogy of you playing through as Senua, dealing with these demons she has inside her. Obviously set within the Norse mythology.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, it's just a really powerful game.
And it wasn't just the voices either. Like, when you've got the headphones on, you can hear like faint rapid heartbeats and like the heavy breathing when everything else goes sort of silent. It's really, it's not scary. I wouldn't say it's scary. If anyone was like,
it's unnerving.
If anyone was like me and they're like, I might be scared of it, it's not scary. It's just really, really tense, but amazing.
It's a very unsettling game.
Yeah.
Really good combat though. Loved the combat. There was a few clunky mechanics. The puzzling wasn't always the best.
Yeah, so you said to me that
you got used to it.
You said to me that there was a few puzzles that didn't seem overly clear or something, but there was only one that I really got stuck on, I guess. But it was only like a couple minutes, and I was like, oh fuck, I missed that. That's why.
But it's really satisfying that when it does click, is that those voices in your head sort of give you approval, like well done, well done, well done. Yeah, it's just, for me, it's one of the most unique experiences I've had in a game.
Yeah.
For anyone who's sort of on the fence of playing it, Senua 2 does come out hopefully this year, maybe next year. It's made by Ninja Theory, who are obviously now part of Microsoft Gaming Studios. It's just a very powerful game. However, if you do have existing mental health conditions, especially psychosis, then it might be better maybe to watch a playthrough of the game, because it can be quite difficult. But it was, there's a documentary, I'm not sure if you watched the documentary, that's actually on the menu screen, but it does show how the game was made and how they did the voices and how they consulted people with psychosis to get the right sort of feeling and atmosphere throughout the game. So it was a game that people cared about when they made it, which always makes a difference.
Yeah, and there's another thing that I just remembered as well with the combat. The voices saying if like someone's behind you, that was that was really tense. Because
he's behind you.
Yeah, you'll be fighting someone and you'll just hear them whisper, "He's behind you," and if you don't dodge at that moment, you're getting hit basically.
Yeah, and sometimes it will say he's behind you and they're not.
I don't know if I had that, unless that was.
It happened a few times to me.
Unless I was already like spamming buttons so much, I didn't really notice.
But there's some fantastic set pieces in this game. Obviously, we don't want to spoil it. However, it has the payoff at the end of the game, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was hoping. I've got this in my notes as one of the main things. I am a sucker for games that I'm trying to think how to sum it up without spoiling it.
God mode.
Games,
God mode, where it's just like, go do this. Nothing's going to stop you. Just do it.
Yeah, but not just that, but when they have a certain sort of music playing, which this game does towards the end.
Yeah.
I love those sort of endings to games. Sort of similar to Mass Effect 3, I think, had it as well a little
There's
bit.
also a very similar level in Nier Automata. We'll be talking about Nier Automata in the next episode, but there is a section of Nier Automata as well that does have this like set piece moment where the music and the crescendo and the gameplay all meld into one, and it just completely elevates the experience of that game up another level. I think one of my favourite aspects of that final level of Senua is that you start the game as this frightened child. You're rowing through hell basically, with the voices of the dead telling you that you can't do this and you can't do this, you can't do this. You're like battling your demons the entire way through the game. So to then get to the end of the game and you sort of feel like you have overcome those demons with Senua, it's a great fucking payoff. It's so good. And I would honestly tell anybody who's listening to this to go and play it. For me, it's an obvious gameplay.
Yeah, 100%.
And I would just like to say, if you do like really shit RTSs, Desperados 3 is also a gameplay.
Or one of the most refined real-time tactics games of modern-day gaming.
No, if you like shit games. So yeah, that's this week's Game Pass or Play. So we've got Senua, which is one of my favourite games of all time, and Desperados 3. So we now need to pick the next games that we want each other to play.
Yes, I'm just trying to find where I wrote it down. Okay, I've got it.
I've forgotten what game I want you to play. I've completely forgotten now.
I've got it.
Oh no, I remember. Sean, I remember, so I'll tell you first.
Okay.
I've talked about it a few times.
Right.
I talked about it, I think, last week. Sean.
Yes.
I want you to play Katana Zero.
Okay.
No, I don't. No, I want you to play Slay the Spire.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
Slay the Spire. You're playing Slay the Spire.
Okay.
You can play Katana Zero in your own time.
Slay the Spire's roguelike, isn't it?
Not really. No. It's got one element where if you die, you start again.
So a roguelike.
It's not though, because it's a turn-based card game.
I'll get my red pen of hatred at the ready.
No, genuinely, it's a turn-based card game, so it is good fun.
Okay, I'm just installing it on the app.
Yeah, it is quite good. What do you want me to play, Sean?
I want you to play. This wasn't in my mind at all. Like, I never heard of this game until about 10 minutes before recording, and I was just scrolling through the Game Pass app, and it caught my eye. It's called Carto, I think it's pronounced.
Carto. I saw that. It looks really cute. That
Carto.
It looks really sweet.
Yeah, it's an adventure game where you have to rearrange pieces of the map in order to change and like navigate the world. So,
downloading it as we speak on the official Game Pass app.
And apparently it's only like 7 to 8 hours long, so you can play all of it, despite how you're struggling with it. And then it won't defeat the entire purpose of our main segment of the podcast.
Yeah. Well, give me good games to play, and then
I gave you one of the best games of 2020.
You didn't. Let's not get into it. All right. I can't do this anymore. Let's not get into it. Shall we move on to our new segment, Tales of the Tavern?
I think, don't we have a short little...
oh my god.
Short little segment we've already got going first.
Yeah, I forgot about this. Thank you for reminding me. We lost our sponsorship, didn't we?
Yeah. Again.
Barrymore's Pool Party people. Again.
2 weeks in a row. Third time's a charm.
Yeah, I know. So we were sponsored last week by Barrymore Pool Party people. If you don't know Barrymore Pool Party people, just type in Michael Barrymore Pool Party and it'll explain everything. Now, we've had to be searching for a new podcast sponsor.
While drowning in our sorrows.
And while drowning in our sorrows. Yeah, while... just got that. Spoiler alert, someone drowned at Michael Barrymore's house. So we were thinking long and hard about who should be our sponsor for this week. And we actually, we had to get in contact with them anyway over the last sort of 5 or 6 days. If you follow us on social media, well, you don't anymore. So we are sponsored this week by Twitter Support. So thank you for suspending our account for literally no reason and not getting back to us for a week.
You bastards.
Thank you for not answering any of our tweets. Thank you for not answering any of our emails. And thank you for not doing anything about the fact that one person reported our obviously not fake account and you took it down. You took all of our social media posts down and we lost all of our followers. So thank you very much. But don't forget that you can follow us now at Gamers Watch Crew. No. Gamers Watch Cast?
No. Gamers Watch Crew.
So I don't even know. Fuck you, Twitter. Fuck Twitter. Gamers Watch Crew is our new Twitter handle.
Well,
so you can follow us at Gamers Watch Crew. Fuck Twitter. #Spangate21. Let's get our original page back. Thank you very much. I wonder if we'll be sponsored by them next
I've got
episode.
an inkling that they might go the route of Barrymore.
Yeah, possibly.
Not drowning us, but just pulling.
Yeah, who knows? Who fucking knows?
Although if anyone lives in Newton Abbot and wants to check the river that's by my house in a few days' time to see if I'm okay, that'd be much appreciated.
Yeah, if Jack Dorsey's dunked your head down the toilet, then we'll know what's happened. Shall we talk about our newest Sea of Thieves segment?
We still have Game in 60 Seconds.
We've done Game in 60 seconds,
We haven't.
What do you mean?
We haven't. We talked...
Have we not?
We talked Hellblade. We just done our new sponsor. That's it.
Well, I'll tell you what, this new format's going really well. Okay, Game in 60 seconds. Shaun, give us a rundown. What is Game in 60 seconds?
Game in 60 seconds is where we describe a game in less than 60 seconds because it's never anywhere near 60 seconds. But it,
it usually turns out to be like 7 seconds.
But it just sounds good and we like Nicolas Cage, so... yeah, and then you've got to try and guess what game it is.
Now, we're changing things up slightly. You won't find out the answers to this week's Game in 60 seconds until next week. However, if you tweet us with the... Oh, shit, you can't. Fuck.
If you tweet our new account,
Gamers Watch Crew,
which by the time you hear this, if we've got our old account back, you won't be
we'll
able
be banned. Yeah. If you tweet us at Gamers Watch Crew with both of the answers, then you'll be put in a raffle, and if you win the raffle, you get nothing because we have no money. So you just win, like, bragging rights.
We spent all our money on a hat for the raffle.
Yeah, our entire money went on little bits of paper and a top hat. So, sorry guys, you can win the top hat.
No, we need that hat.
So, I've completely forgotten my Game in 60 seconds. So, Shaun, if you say your one first, I'll try and remember mine by the time you say yours.
Okay, you've got 6 seconds to remember. It's...
Okay. Oh, I've got mine. Yeah, you go, go.
It's a nasty break, but in time, the cast will remedy it.
Okay, say that one again.
It's a nasty break, but in time, the cast will remedy it.
Lovely job. So, my Game in 60 seconds is that turn on that racetrack. God, he's brilliant, isn't he? That turn on that racetrack. He is brilliant, isn't he? So, yeah, that's your game in 18 seconds. If you know the answers, give us a tweet, Gamers Watch Crew. Send us a message on Instagram or Facebook at Gamers Watch Podcast, and if you get both of them right, then we'll give you a round of applause in the next episode. So good
We'll
luck.
play
guys.
the Viva Pinata cheer music.
We will. Sean, shall we actually now talk about Tales from the Tavern?
Yes. Can't wait.
Okay, cue the music. The music's now
I'm
playing.
singing Pirates of the Caribbean in my head.
So, Sean, do you just want to give people a quick overview of what Tales of the Tavern will be?
So, Tales from the Tavern is pretty self-explanatory. It's tales that come from the tavern in Sea of Thieves. So it's going to be a mix of like our adventures that we go on throughout, in between each episode, but also any other tales we might hear from other seafarers.
And we do have another Plunderer's story to tell this week as well. And I'm sure when Tom's on next, he will also have some stories to tell.
And I can't wait to go on an adventure.
Dead
with Tom.
Men Tell No Tales, I think, is a pirate-based film. I'm not really sure. It might be Pirates of the Caribbean 17. I'm not too sure.
It's from, I believe, from the Pirates of the Caribbean queue for the ride at Disneyland.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So let's go through our experience on Sea of Thieves, because man, did we have fun.
Oh, it's so much different to when, because we played it for like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks at launch. Actually,
And we got really bored.
considering we played it at launch and we're playing it again now, does that technically make us the longest running Sea of Thieves related content creators?
It possibly does.
I'm
yeah.
taking that record.
Yeah, because we spoke about it in the Curiosity
Yeah.
Gaming podcast. So yeah, 3 year.
Fuck everyone
chain
else.
of-
What a streak.
Yeah. So me and Sean decided at sort of 8 o'clock the other day, let's go on to Sea of Thieves. We'll have a bit of fun. Go on for it maybe like an hour to an hour and a half. What's the worst that can happen? At what time did we turn our Xboxes off, Sean?
Oh, it was 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, so a good sort of 5 hours of plundering later.
The
Man, did we have fun.
yeah, the advice from Tom of there's no such thing as a quick sale would have been handy before we started playing for 5 hours straight.
Yeah, we possibly could have started at like 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
But it was just so much fun. It was so much completely different to what I was expecting it to be. Now, one thing that we do have to mention is that I absolutely love Viva Pinata. And we are going to put a
doesn't?
picture of my boat up on Twitter and Instagram. And basically, we just ride around in a giant pinata. So bright pink, it's got confetti cannons with swans on them. The steering wheel has parrots on them. The anchor has bush babies. It's got a pinata horse as the bulkhead. It's bright pink with multicoloured sails, and it looks fucking terrible, and I love it.
There's nothing that will pull another player out of the game world than sailing through the Devil's Roar area, volcanoes going off everywhere, and just seeing a confetti cannon explode with you firing out of it.
Yeah, with me launching out of it at a volcano. So yeah, we just had so much fun. It was so good. Now, there was one bit where the game did glitch out a little bit, wasn't there, Sean?
Was this when you turned into a Skelly Bob?
It was indeed.
I don't know what happened there. We died. I know that bit. And then we were on the bugger, what's the ship called? The ferryman ship.
Oh, the something of the damned.
Whatever. Ferry of the Damned. We were on that, and then we respawned, and you just turned into an luminous green skeleton. And we were
Yeah, I don't really know
we
why.
were trying to kill these two fucking ashen pirate captains that were on this small titchy island, and I couldn't keep it together because every time I turned round, I just saw this luminous green skeleton jump from behind a rock and start slashing at other skeletons.
I know. It's ridiculous, isn't it? It was just... I wasn't like that on my screen, though. So you're telling me you're a bright green skeleton, and yet on my screen, I'm just normal.
You're just Harry.
Yeah, I'm just Harry.
You're a
Christ's
skeleton, Harry.
sake. I'm just Harry. You're a wizard. Yeah, it was just great fun. So what did we do? We searched around for the ashen skeletons.
We done a couple of normal voyages, I think, and then for some godforsaken reason decided to go to the most difficult section of the map, which is the Devil's Roar, which is all like volcanoes and earthquakes, and done a voyage there, which ended up being, instead of like one wanted map, it was 4, and
No, it wasn't. It was
it
6.
Fucking
Yeah. No, it was. No, we had 6 different quests to do, and that one did have 4
Yeah.
different
but
skeletons
then,
on it.
well, it was 4 different maps, but then 2 of the maps had like 4 skeletons on them themselves. So that was where the bulk of the 5 hours came from.
Yeah, I mean, we just sailed around killing bright red skeletons. It was just great fun. It was brilliant. Now, you say that you have a story, though, and I don't know about this story. So this might have been when you were riding solo sloop.
Yeah, this is when I was solo slooping.
So tell the people about the solo
slooping. So
slooping.
basically, people have like a flight or fight response. Well, my hatred for PvP and like competitive gaming is so strong that as soon as a ship you can just see the peak of its mass on the horizon. If you turn around, I'll be in a rowboat like 20 meters down the stream already with a like white flag, just letting my ship go because I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just never got on with PvP.
Yeah, I mean, every time that we were sailing around, you would see like a mast and be like, we gotta go,
this way.
Which, to be fair, at one point we should have done, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
But anyway, it was towards the end when I was getting ready to sort of just sign out and that, and there was this one particular ship that just kept shooting me down, even though I was just at an outpost, not doing anything whatsoever. So eventually, I tried fighting them a couple of times. It didn't work. The closest I got was jumping on their ship, and I tried to. I don't know why. I tried to steal one of their treasure chests just to piss them off, and they shot me. So anyway, I was about to turn it off, and I saw them coming up on the horizon again, and I was like, nah, fuck this. I'm going to take them for a joyride and just waste their time a bit, because I ain't got anything to do. So I started sailing off, and because I was in a sloop and they were in one of the bigger ships, if I'm going into the wind, I'm faster. So I sort of pulled away a bit, and then came across this small rock where I just started going around in circles, and just watching them on the other side trying to catch up with me. Couldn't. And then one of the world events, the one with the big red skull like floating in the air and all the ghost ships, one of that started in the world. So I sailed towards it, knowing that they would chase me and knowing that they had a ton of loot on their ship, and I had bugger all because I was about to sign out.
Oh no.
Sailed straight into it, started dancing, doing the dance emote on the back of my ship because I knew they'd be able to see me in the telescope. And they followed me straight in, got obliterated. So they would have lost all their loot, and then I just signed out.
That is amazing. That is proper dick move.
That's what you get for griefing, though. If they just shot me down once, I would have been like, fucking PvP, and then got on with it. But it's the fact they've done it like 4 or 5 times. But they just carried on. Well,
that does remind me of a little story that we had as well, doesn't it? Because at one point, me and Shaun, we saw another boat on the horizon, and they were by a shipwreck. So we thought, I'll tell you what, we'll go by the shipwreck, we'll go and have a look at it, and then we'll just see what they're doing. And then they just started firing at us, which we sort of presumed that they would. And I was like, just do the wave emote, they'll be fine. Yeah, they weren't having it. They just unleashed hell on us. So Shaun's there, like fixing the boat, trying to patch up all of the crap that's going on. Meanwhile, I'm trying to sort of sail away, and I'm trying to navigate us around things. And at one point, we lose them. And I'm like, fuck that. And I spin round, and I'm like, let's go at them again. And that didn't really work, so we ended up hightailing it back round, and then thought, let's just leave them to it. So we drifted off, we left them to it, they left us. I then spotted some treasure in the water, and I was like, I'll jump and get the treasure, but forgot to stop the boat. So the boat just carried on going, and I jumped in the water, and Shaun just fucked off.
I was still on the boat. I was safe.
I picked up the skull, and I'm slowly swimming back, and I'm like, Shaun, you just need to tell me where they are. And he's like, right, the sails are down. It's like, okay, that's fine. Just bring the boat round. He's like, they're coming after you. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, they're sailing at you. And as he said that, they just swooped right past me, missed me by millimetres, fired a volley of cannons at Shaun. They couldn't turn around properly. I quickly jumped on the ship and we sailed off. Then out of nowhere, I hear Shaun chuckling to himself. And I say, what are you laughing at, Shaun? And he says, "What? Well, no, you say it. What happened to him?"
We were sailing off, and I was looking through the telescope thing again to just make sure they weren't chasing us. And they started turning towards us again. And as they put their sails down, the kraken tentacles just came up and completely demolished them, battered them to shit. Oh.
And all we could see was them lowering a pontoon boat and trying to load in all of their loot. And we just slowly saw their ship sink with all of their loot in it. And we just fucked off out there.
We didn't even fuck off. We turned and stayed on the edge of the Kraken area and just
right on the perimeter,
watched.
yeah. Yeah, we just went on the perimeter and watched them sink and then sailed
doing the
off.
wave emote again.
Doing the wave emote, both of us, none of us, on the controls of the ship. Oh, man. God,
I
it was
say
so
we won
fun.
that encounter.
I think that we did. We actually did have somebody write in one of their tales as well. Do you want me to tell their tale of the tavern? So on Twitter, it's user @Lobo360. It's only a very quick one, but they said that a friend and her and a friend decided to do a quick fishing trip in Sea of Thieves, and it was fairly relaxing. But they had an emissary sneak up on them. Now, she offered them 2 pieces of treasure if they let them live and just would keep fishing. And they didn't take a single thing. They went onto this other ship with all of their pets and just had a nice chat and started fishing on their boat with them. How
sweet.
nice is that? See, it's
That's
not
how
all
PvP
murder.
should be.
Murder. That's how PvP should be. So yeah, we had a really nice story actually sent in to us from Lobo360. And they basically said to me that they thought that they were goners, and they just popped up. They all started waving at each other. They all had their pets on them, and they just had a really nice little fishing day out, which does sort of also remind me of another story that we've got from our recent playthrough.
Oh, God.
So I didn't know that there was fishing in the game. I didn't know how to do it. So Shaun jumps on an island while we're doing our Ashen Captains, where there's 3 Ashen Captains while we're being smashed in by a volcano, and then the earthquake starts on the island. And that's when I decided to start fishing.
Dick.
So Shaun's shouting at me, going, "Oh shit, there's another one. Oh crap. Oh god."
Just explosions everywhere as well.
And I'm just like,
I feel like
just
I'm
explosions.
like storming the beach of
He's
Normandy.
like getting launched in the air. I know. And meanwhile I'm like, "Oh, I caught a pufferfish. Oh, this is nice." And then I caught my very first fish, pressed the wrong button, threw it back in the ocean. And then Shaun was like, "Can you come and help me out, please?" "No, I need to actually catch a fish. I need to cook it." So then I caught another fish and went down to the brig and cooked it, and I burnt it. So I had to catch another fish. Meanwhile, Shaun just got all of our skulls for us. It was great. I'm a really good co-captain. I'm as good a captain as I am a friend. But at least I'm a good host.
Shit friend, good chef.
Oh my god, that needs to be a new shirt.
With your pirate character with the bright pink hair.
Yeah. So, oh man, we just had a great time. It was really, genuinely, really good fun. So, if you've got any tales yourselves to tell from the tavern, please do let us know, because we love hearing people talking about all of their stories.
And we've got a lot to cover on the next one we do, I think, because there's a fishing event coming up. Yeah, it starts.
God, is there?
Well, it'll be started yesterday when this podcast released. It's Friday the 25th that it starts.
Oh god! No, so wait. It's just going to be me
Friday
fishing and you just running away from everybody.
Got the dates wrong. It's Friday. Whatever date Friday is.
Whatever day Friday is.
But yes. Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely have some more stories.
And then you've still got to do some of the tour tales, because I think I've done 6 of them now, and they're so good.
Yeah,
they're so good. They're like proper story missions that can take hours if you get like sidetracked.
Man, well, we'll jump into one of those next, and we'll definitely tell that in 2 weeks' time. Lovely. Now we need to end this show on a ridiculous story about why Shaun is afraid of clown spiders. That's all I know.
Well, clowns.
Because of spiders.
It came from spider. Yeah, it originated.
So, do you want to tell the clown spider story, please, Shaun?
Yeah. Okay. So there's two things you need to know before. Well, 3 things you need to know before this story. 1, I have a terrible phobia of spiders, which I ranted about last episode. 2, at my parents' house, they've got quite a long garden, and at the bottom of it, there's a log cabin which I turned into my studio. So I had like my computer down there, my consoles, and I basically just work in the studio. And 3, me and my brain have a love-hate relationship. So sometimes my brain can be pretty cool, and other times it is my arch nemesis and is an absolute dick. And this is kind of one of those moments. So I was in the studio and I was on Skype with a couple of friends while I was working. And obviously with Skype, if you have it up on another screen, you have the like profile pictures of the people that are in the call. So it was probably about 8 in the evening by this time, and I had to run up to the house to go to the loo. One of the friends thought it was a good idea to put the giant fucking spider from Lord of the Rings as his profile picture, knowing that I'd have to see it on my monitor and knowing that I have a huge fear of spiders. So I come back down, have a huge fear of spiders, and just I can't do anything. I had to look away from the monitor and just keep randomly clicking until I could see at the bottom that Skype had closed.
All because you don't like Spidey boys.
It's terrifying.
So how do clowns enter this?
Well, because, and I didn't have a fear of clowns at all until this point. A couple hours later, so it was now pitch black outside.
Okay.
The spider friend decided to go to the loo, and my brain, not being a dick at this point, being an absolute genius, was like, he doesn't like clowns. Get revenge. Put a clown picture on yours as your profile picture. I was like, sweet, that's awesome. Searched Pennywise for like Tim Curry's version. Set it as my profile picture. Started chuckling to myself, and then my brain just went, "Oh yeah, you're scared of clowns now." So I had this giant Pennywise picture that I had clicked and put on my own monitor, and then suddenly had a fear of clowns.
Oh my
and
god!
I had to do the same thing, where I looked down and had to try and click out of fucking Skype. And my friend came back on, and he was just pissing himself because it didn't actually affect him that much for some reason.
You're an idiot.
So yeah, for the remainder of the night, I was the laughing stock of the Skype chat. But the worst thing is, because it was pitch black then, when it was time to like go bed, and because my parents' garden is so goddamn long, I sprinted up the garden to get into the house, and I couldn't unlock the door because I couldn't see the lock with my key. And next to the back door, we've got one of those like drain grates. And my brain was like, that looks like the Great Drain from It. So I was having this like proper panic attack on my back step, all because I set a picture as like my profile picture on Skype as a clown.
You're an idiot.
Trying to get revenge, and it developed a fear of clowns for me.
Oh my god!
But it gets better, and this is
How?
the bit I was saying to you earlier where it gets embarrassing.
Hang on. This next bit is when it gets embarrassing.
This next bit is something I think I was 26 at the time. No 26-year-old should ever do. And it was a couple of months later, I think, and it was around about the time when It 2 was coming out. I think it was when. Do you remember when all these people were just going out in the streets dressed as clowns, and they would just stand on the corner of the street, stare at people, and some had knives. Some had knives for some fucking reason. Anyway, it was during that, and I was at the two friends who I was on Skype with. I was at their house to watch a wrestling pay-per-view. So it was like 1 a.m. till 4 a.m. And in between their house and my house, I have to walk through a place called St. Mary Church, which is normally fine. It's like a
cozy little village, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's more of an older like people's.
It's the
place.
Waiting room to the cemetery.
And
is the nice way of saying it.
And there is actually a cemetery at the top of it. But anyway, people started going to St. Mary Church dressed as clowns, apparently, like in the days leading up to this pay-per-view. And I didn't know about it until they told me. And then I started looking up, and it was like, oh, for fuck's sake, yeah, there's been people dressed as clowns there. So after the pay-per-view ended at 4 a.m.
You ran home.
No.
Oh god. No, you did not call your parents.
I called my parents.
Oh no.
And the exact thing I said to them was, can you please pick me up? There might be clowns outside.
Oh my god. We gotta end this show, man. That's it. We are done.
There might be clowns outside.
We're done. Shaun, we are done. Oh my god.
26. Clowns outside.
No. Might be clowns outside.
Oh yeah, it might be clowns. Yeah, but they might have had knives. You never know. There's crazy people in Torquay.
Jesus Christ.
I'm one of them, apparently.
Fucking hell, that is amazing.
Yeah, so that's how spiders helped develop my fear of clowns.
Wow.
I still don't know to this day why the fuck I got it.
That's amazing.
Stupid brain.
I don't think anything will top that, Shaun. So thank you for sharing that with the class.
That's all right.
Well,
Anytime.
We'll leave it on that note.
I'm going to go check Sea of Thieves now to see if there's not any fucking
clown
clown
spider
costumes.
costumes.
Next week, my story of how I developed the fear of pirates from
because
clowns.
of spiders with knives.
I had to phone my parents to ask them to come and turn the Xbox off because there might be pirates.
Oh man. Well, thank you for sharing, Shaun. That was great.
No worries.
Well, thank you, Shaun. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We hope you enjoyed the new format to the show. Me and Shaun, we've been really excited actually to test out this new format. So yeah, we hope it's good listening for you, because at the end of the day, we only do this so that people enjoy it, and if we enjoy it, we hope you guys do too. So again, please do follow us on our new Twitter account, which is @GamersWatchCrew. You can find us on Facebook @GamersWatchPodcast, and you can find us on Instagram too @GamersWatchPodcast. Shaun, anything you want to say before you go?
No, I think I'm done.
Yeah, you're done.
My voice is going.
Yeah, you're done. So thank you everybody for listening. We hope you enjoy, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Ta-ra.